Hello everyone and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to play chess from the very beginning. First, a little introduction about myself. My name is Ahmed Yunus. I'm rated more than 2200 in Blitz on chess.com. Also reached rating more than 2000 in Rapid and also more than 2300 in Bullet, all on chess.com. I have a deep passion for the game and I want to share my passion and my knowledge with you. So I hope I can provide you with good content, good information also, and I hope you will enjoy learning chess with me. So without further ado, let's begin our video. Or yeah. So first we have I want to teach you about the chessboard. So the chessboard consists of 64 squares. You can see that half of the squares are called light squares and the other half is dark squares. So this is called a light square, this is called a dark square. Okay. You can see also that this chessboard is you have letters from A to H and numbers from 1 to 8. These letters and numbers are used uh, ha- to help you navigate the board and also locate certain chess pieces. Also, they are used to write the chess notation, and more on that later. So now let's know about the pieces, know the names and value of each piece. So this is called a pawn. A pawn is worth 1 point. This is called a knight. A knight is worth 3 points. This is called a bishop. A bishop is worth also 3 points. You can see that you have two knights and two bishops. 8 pawns. Also, you have 8 pawns. This is called the rook. A rook is worth 5 points. You have two rooks, and this is your most powerful piece. It's called the queen. The queen is worth 9 points. It's the most powerful piece you have on the chessboard. And lastly, this is the king. The king has no specific value because you need to protect it at all costs. Okay, so now let's see how do these pieces move. So a pawn, you can move a pawn one square or two squares. Okay, so if you move a pawn one square like this, then you cannot move it two squares. You can only move it one square. So when do you can move the pawn two squares? Only on its first move. So when you move it like this, you can move it two squares only on the first move, like this. Okay, and after you move it two squares, you cannot move it two squares again. You can only move it one square. Okay, so how do pawns capture pieces? So you can move this pawn like this, and if your opponent moves like this, all of this are just ways I can teach you how the pieces move. No specific games move play out like this. It's only for educational purposes. So the pawns move captured diagonally. So this pawn can take this pawn in a diagonal way. So you can capture diagonally like this. Pawns capture diagonally. This pawn can also take this pawn diagonally. Let's go back. After you play this move, what if your opponent plays this move? Then you have a very unique move you can play with the pawn. It's called en passant. En passant is a French word which means passing. You can play en passant when your pawn is next to the opponent's pawn and your opponent's pawn moved two squares, so then you can play this move. Also, you can play it if, for example, the opponent plays like this, you can take here also. But you cannot play en passant If, for example, your opponent played here, you played a move, and you played here, then there is no en passant. En passant happens only when your opponent moves two squares with a pawn, and your pawn is beside his pawn. Okay. So now you know how the pawns move and how do they capture. Also an important note, pawns do not move backwards, so you cannot move backward with a pawn, only moves forward. I think it's obvious, but I thought I should also tell you about this. Now let's see how bishops move. So this is called a light squared bishop. It moves on light squares in a diagonal form. This is a dark squared bishop. It moves on dark squares in also diagonal manner. So this bishop moves diagonal like this, and this also moves on dark squares in a diagonal form. Of course, because they move diagonally, so they capture diagonally. So, for example, here, sorry, it's black's move. So, for example, here, black can take diagonally, and pawns take diagonally, as we said. If here the bishop takes also diagonally, and pawns capture diagonally. So this is how bishops move and how do they capture. Now let's go to the rooks. So rooks move in straight lines. This rook can move all the way over there or here. So if we moved it here, and this rook here can move like this and like this and like this. Sorry, like this. But it cannot move here because it's already occupied by your pawns, or sorry, by your pieces. So this is how rooks move. Of course, they capture in straight lines. So if you go here, this rook can take like this, and pawn captures like this. So they move in straight lines, they capture also in straight lines. Okay. Now for the queen. Queens are the most powerful pieces, as I said. So they are like a combination between a rook and a bishop. So they can move in straight lines like this, as you can see. And they can move in diagonals also, like this. So all of these squares are occupied by the queen. So it can move here, for example, can move here. Also, this queen can move here, and like that. So it's a combination between a rook and a bishop. So also try to protect your queen because, as I said, it's the most powerful piece. It will help you in attacks. Also can help in defense, stuff like that. But more on that later. We're just teaching you how to play, how the pieces move right now. Okay. So notice why I didn't tell you how the knight moves until now. Because the knights are the trickiest pieces to move. So the knight is the only piece that can jump over pieces. What does that mean? For example, if you have this rook cannot move because it's blocked by the pawn, by its own pawn. So you cannot move the rook like here. But the knight can jump over pieces like this and develop itself. So the knights move in what we call L-shaped movement. So why it's called L-shape? Because as you can see, this is letter L in the English language. Also, this is letter L, like this. All of these squares the knight can move to. But of course, it cannot move for into these two squares because it's occupied by the king and the pawn. But the knight can move here. This knight can move here. So it's pretty easy to move knights. You just need to remember the L-shaped movement, and with some practice, you will know for sure how to move the knights. Okay, now the king. How does the king move? You need to protect the king, so the king won't do these movements I show you. I will show you just how the king moves. So kings move like this. You can move your king. Look, you can move your king anywhere, um, like one square, any in any direction. But there is a very important note that the king is the only piece that cannot move into squares that are seen by the enemy pieces. So this bishop is eyeing these squares, and this pawn is eyeing this square. So for example, if I try to put my king here, it won't let me. Because in chess, you cannot capture a king. You can capture any piece but a king. So you cannot move here or here or here. This is very important to know. Now, I want to show you some cool thing also. It's, it's a movie, technically. So if you played a game, it might look like this. This is the Italian game, or the Guizio Piano. So you have this magic move, which is called castling. Castling is when you move your king, put it right here, and you put your rook here. So castling is considered a king move, not a rook move. So you cannot castle with the rook. You castle using your king. There is a rule for castling that you cannot move the rook like this, for example, and try to castle. If you move the rook or move the king, then you can no longer castle. So this is an important note. Let me show you the other type of castling, which is called long castling. So long castling happens when you clear the path um, in the queen side, and the king can see the rook. Then you can grab your king, move it two squares, and castle like this. This is called long castling. So um, you can long castle with the white pieces or the black pieces. All of them are available. So these moves are called castling. It's very important for your king's safety. So yeah, that's, I think, everything you need to know about chess and how to play it. Now let me play some games against bots. I'll play two games to show you how real games might look like. So I think let's play without a timer so I can teach you how the pieces move. Let's play with the white pieces first. Okay. So first thing you do in these games, you need to develop your pieces. So try to occupy the center. So I played e4, plays e5, trying to occupy the center too. Now start developing your pieces. So I'll play knight c3. Already this is a bad move because you don't want to move your queen in the opening, because that lets the opponent attack it. So I can now play knight f3 and attack the queen. So his queen is in awkward position, and he's also losing moves without developing um, his pieces. So that won't help him in the long run and in the short run too. Now I can play this move, attack his queen, threaten a fork. And then we do the move that I already said, which is castling. Castling, you do it for your king's safety. We go back because he was attacking our knight. Now we can play this to open up the center. Whenever your opponent leaves their king in the center, try to open the center so you can attack the king. Okay. Now I can play this move, take the bishop. When he takes with the queen, okay. So now don't push like this because here he checks our king and takes our bishop. So you don't want to play a move like that. Mm, maybe you play a move such as king h1, trying to prepare this move. So he plays it anyway, which I don't think it's a good move. We go back with the bishop, okay, attacking us. Go here with the bishop, threatening the queen. You can also go here, try to take the pawn and take the rook. Okay, so this is a trap. If I take, he puts his rook here, he attacks my king. So this is called a poisoned pawn. You shouldn't take such pawns. So let's, for example, play here. Okay, attacking our knight, just leave it. Now we're attacking this pawn. Okay, so now I have a lot of options I can take, of course. I can also play bishop here. But let's go with the simplest and just take. After he takes, we can take with the bishop very easily. And now I really wanna play this move because this restricts his king from castling. He cannot castle through a check, by the way. So now he cannot castle. After I played my move, he cannot castle because this bishop is restricting his castling, as I said. Now he blundered his queen, by the way. I just play rook here, and his queen is pinned to his king. I take. He takes, and I'm just winning because he cannot defend himself with just when he's down his queen, down so much material. Okay, just let's convert this in a good manner without making too much mistakes. So this is a pawn, I guess. You want to trade rooks. I don't want to trade rooks. I want to attack. Uh, okay, I'll take this pawn. It's free. Give this check. Why not? Okay, blundered his knight also. His rook is no longer attacking the knight. I take the knight. Thank you. Tries to defend by putting his bishop here, but I think I can go here. Attacking, putting more pressure. Um, okay, this pawn is hanging. We can take it. It's not a big deal. We can go back with our bishop now, trying to deliver checkmate here. So your main goal in the game, by the way, is to checkmate the king. This is how you win in chess. So I think I can just go here now, threatening checkmate. Okay. Um, defends it. If he takes, I deliver mate, so he cannot take. Now he wants to back rank mate me, but there is no back rank checkmate. But just let's play this move as a defensive measure. We don't really need it, but why not? Okay, let's take and take. Play the rook here. Trade. Okay, here you're up a ton of material. Just try to trade when you're up material. This way you know how to. It's easy. So look, this move is very unnecessary, but I just take here. He has to take with the rook. I take. And yeah, it's an easy game. So now you tell me, how can you checkmate with just pawns? You will see another move, magic move, that I'll show you in a second. We need to put our pawn, we need to make it reach the back rank. Not the back rank, the other rank of the board. So pawns started here, we want our pawns to reach the other rank, which is the 8th rank. Okay. Look now, when you reach the other rank of the board with your pawn, you get this availability that you can either promote your pawn to a queen, to a knight, to a rook, or to a bishop. This only happens when your pawn reaches the other side of the board, and in most cases you would like to promote to a queen because it's the strongest piece, as I said. Now let's checkmate the king. We'll start by cutting off the king. Don't worry, I'll make a video on how to checkmate the king specifically, but for now, just see how you can do it. You cut off the king, bring your king, bring your king. Okay, cut off the king again, bring your king. We bring the king, and now when he goes here, it's just checkmate. We put our queen here, it's defended by the king, he cannot take the queen, and he cannot escape the check, so that's why it's checkmate. Let me play the same dude, but with the black pieces. Okay, so this is e4. We play c6. This is called the Caro-Kann defense, what I'm playing. Okay, so of course, again, developing the queen early on is not a good option. So we immediately attack it. And we can attack it another time. So look how our pieces are getting developed while he is wasting a lot of moves playing with just his queen. So it's not a good thing for him. Definitely not a good thing. Why not just take? So he didn't take back for some reason. So let's get our bishop, save it. Now I want to play this move and take here. When he takes, we trade, but it's attacking my knight, and it seems like I've lost my knight, which was very careless of me. Very careless, very careless. But no worries, we're still winning. We still have a pawn. Now don't take here and lose your rook. It's not really nice. You play here, and this pawn falls. When we go back with the knight, we take it very easily. Also, this pawn falls. I should have taken it here with the bishop, but no worries. Now we take. He can take here, by the way, and I cannot take back, but he didn't see it. Because if I took... No, he couldn't take that because my rook was hanging. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. I'm starting to miscalculate things. It's not really nice. So this is just a loss of a pawn. Just lost a pawn for no reason. For no reason. And this I have 3 pawns on 0. So it's very easy to win such a position. Just push your pawns. Push your pawns. And cannot stop them. Had to sacrifice, but still, that won't help. 3 pawns on 0 is a nightmare. So, yeah. Starting to sacrifice everything because his position is crumbling. Okay, sacrificing this. I think the bot is hoping for a stalemate, but I don't know. Let's sack the rook, no problem, and promote our pawn. Let's promote it to a queen. Now let's checkmate the king, cut off the king, as I said. Go here to prevent the escape. Check the king, let it go to the back rank. Now you have mate in 2, check, it goes here, and you checkmate him. So check, checkmate, just like that. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and also learned something. If you have any ideas for me, please drop it in the comment. If you have any comments about the video, anything that you want me to improve or something, just put it. I'll be reading all your comments. Thank you for watching and have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.